And good morning. Happy Saturday, March 26th, 2022. I hope you're all doing well. If you need to reach out and get a hold of somebody over here, go to williehowe.com, whether it's ideas, whether you want to be on the Bits and Bourbon podcast, which James and I are filming the first official Bits and Bourbon Tuesday night. I got my Tuesday nights back. So that's gonna be fun. Or you're bored or whatever. You want to tell us that we suck, you want to tell us that we're awesome, go fill out that form. And let's see who all is in. Let's see here. I'm just moving some things around. Good morning, 30 of you, only 19 likes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up that lets the algorithm know that you're enjoying this. Let me go over to the chat. Good morning, JH, CH, Dave Robertson, Jacob Johnson, Alonzo, George, Brian, Sistek, Prav, Terry, Gina, Mario, Gordon, Gibby, Jeremy, Terry, Bob Carpenter, Joe from Cajoling Tech is in the house. Joe, I love you, man. I miss you. And I still owe you a steak dinner. Trust me, I've not forgot. And we are making plans to figure out how to get that steak dinner to you and your wife. Morning, Dennis. Good morning, T and Bighorn. Morning, Chris. Dimitri, yes, I changed the live stream time this week. Change an hour, see how it works out. Good morning, Ben. So, Bob Carpenter in the house. Bob is moderating. Joe can also moderate if needed. Good morning, Kim. And Bob sent me a bottle of Angel's Envy and then a bottle of Japanese whiskey. And I've never had Japanese whiskey until this. And I have to say, so I asked a few other people what their opinion was. Bob says it's one of his favorite. I am definitely going to end up at some point drinking the entire bottle. I don't pour things down the drain, right? You spend money on them. Morning, TVJ. And, but Bob, let me know in the comments, the first time you ever drank that whiskey. You remember growing up and your parents had they had wood furniture, like 70s and 80s, and heavy wood furniture, and they would redo it, and that paint thinner, the stripper smell, that was the finish that I was getting from that Japanese whiskey. I'm gonna have to give it another go because everybody said give it another go. It's your first time. So Bob, let me know or do you get that paint thinner, wood stripper finish from that? Morning, Russell. I want to know. Morning, Preston. So, man, this week has been crazy. We've had sick kids 3 weeks in a row. Since we had COVID, since we had the Rona back in December, someone has been sick every week. I don't know what it is. I had to go back on my blood pressure medicine. My blood pressure was all out of whack. Wasn't feeling good. You can see that in a couple of the videos. I don't know what's going on, but warm weather where we can all get outside cannot get here quick enough. Let's see. Drink it warm. Well, I don't. I typically drink all of my whiskey straight. So I'm not sure what's going on. All right, so Gibby asks, GWN 7000, can you still only do one IPsec VPN? I haven't looked for an update, but if not, will there be a fix? So, turn of events, GWN. So, by the way, GWN 7000 is still supported, but this is the new router that is coming. There's 2 new routers coming this year. If you need multiple site-to-site IPsec multiple site-to-site VPNs with the GWN 7000, you need to use IPsec site-to-site. So, yeah. So check that out. So what else? So I did a video this week on the Flex Mini, which, by the way, I do really like this switch. No one makes a switch. Joe is killing me. Joe always has the funniest comments. Joe says, LOL, wow, I missed a lot. Bob sent you paint thinner with whiskey label. Yeah, he's low-key trying to help my wife cash in on the life insurance. Morning, James Ridgway. So nobody else is making a switch at this price point with the features. They just don't. And that's why we use a lot of these switches. I mean, you can put them everywhere. You can see this one's being powered by PoE. So enough people wanted to see how to turn this into an active Ethernet tap. So what is an Ethernet tap, right? An Ethernet tap, traditionally you would see something like this, which is the Great Skagit's Throwing Star LAN Tap Pro. This is a passive tap, requires no power. So you plug an Ethernet connection in here, and then so you break a connection, basically, right? So I'm trying to pull an Ethernet cable without dropping everything offline here. So, well, that ain't gonna work because that one's plugged in. All right, so we're gonna pretend this USB-C cable is an Ethernet cable, and I've got a machine on each side. Right, so typically only this machine and this switch or server or whatever, typically it's some sort of a device, and the switch can see what's going on this cable. So if I need to do network troubleshooting, if I need to do all kinds of things, I could stick this in between the cable, and it allows me to basically siphon off the packets, sniff the packets, right? It is a modern version of a hub. But the problem with this is, since it is passive, non-powered, it will only negotiate at 100 megabits, right? So if you don't want to seem out of place, you need something that is active, that can negotiate at a gigabit, right? So I am going to do the video to show you. It'll be a really quick video to show you how to turn this into an active Ethernet tap, and you stick this and your net tool and all of these things in your everyday carry bag, and you have an awesome amount of tools. You don't even need a laptop. Now, you could use a laptop if you wanted to use Wireshark, or if you're on Linux and you're using TCP dump because you're cool. You could carry your laptop and do that, unless you've got like a MacBook Pro where you got to have dongles, which I love my MacBook Pro, don't get me wrong, but the version I have, the very first M1, you have to have a dongle for everything. So, JH says, can you get the Grandstream router OS and run it on your own hardware? No, you cannot. TVJ says that Flex switch is amazing. Yes, it is. And Chris says, still can't get the 3-packs. Yeah, that's unfortunate. JH says, if you have the right stuff, you can make a vampire tap for ThickNet and fiber. Believe it or not, there are still places running ThickNet, unfortunately. Probably most of them government or older places that are running like mainframes and who knows what kind of technology. It doesn't even necessarily need to be, mainframe, but things that use COBOL, But we could create a fiber tap. That would definitely, we could do that. And I think MikroTik sells everything we need to make a fiber tap. I have to think about that for a minute. All right, let's see here. Morning, Ferris. David says, did anyone else's Wi-Fi connected printers stop working with the last Unify AP update? Cannot answer that. Good morning, Romney. So what else? I am loving these. So these are NFC tags. You get 50 of them for $15 delivered via Amazon. And TVJ ThickNet is coax. And you have to use BNC connectors. So there was ThickNet and ThinNet. It was and up until just about 15 years ago, people were installing brand new ThinNet networks. So Romney asked, what do you think of MikroTik switches, router, and Wi-Fi? I think they are definitely fantastic. So there's actually a difference between traditional thicknet and like Ethernet over coax, the new stuff, right? So you've got MoCA, right, which pushes faster speeds and things like that. But like MoCA converts, you have a converter on each side for MoCA to use like RG50 something. I can't remember the name of the coax off the top of my head. But back in the thicknet days, geez Louise, say that 5 times fast. Back in the thicknet days, the Ethernet cards actually had a BNC connector, so like a cable connector, and you like had to twist it on, and it went from machine to machine. It was basically a ring, and if yes, I know Ethernet is a communication standard, not a cable standard, but most of your older stuff wasn't necessarily Ethernet either. Bob says the biggest issue with MoCA is that it's half duplex. So I have not personally deployed any home MoCA solutions. We did do a quote for a hotel in Nebraska, and there's a chassis-based MoCA solution that we were looking at, and it did not say it was half duplex. So, yeah. JH says he's done Ethernet over all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah, you been in this business long enough, you've done all sorts of weird stuff. Like one time I did something really dirty for money, and that was that I extended Wi-Fi off of an already extended Wi-Fi extender. And I will never do that again, but it was for a weather station, small amounts of data. I did not feel good about it. Came home, took a shower. But anyway, back to the NFC tags. So you can buy cards that are also blank. So what's funny about this is these are very inexpensive. So there's a company called Dot that will sell you an NFC card and one of these for $20 a piece. And I am like, what in the heck is going on here? I mean, you get for $15, you get 50 of them, and you can get the cards for 50 cents a piece. But anyway, what is this one programmed to do? Let me see here. So if you watched my any of my other social media, actually I uploaded it to YouTube too. You saw that I did a Rickroll with the first one. And so now what this does is if you touch it, it brings up and it imports a contact, right? So I've been messing with creating the business cards out of these. So basically you just burn it as a contact. The information is a contact. You hold out your card, you're at a conference, literally somebody comes up, they touch their phone, it brings up the contact information, and that's it, you're done. And so I actually like that for several reasons. First, we stopped printing all these business cards. Second, how many of you actually in 2021, 2022 took business card information and imported it into your contacts? This does it for you, right? So that's what I like about it. Those of us who like, oh yeah, cool business cards, and I have some really cool business cards. Mine feel like rubber and stuff. But I know people are throwing them away. I mean, they do. That's, you got to put them in the fish bowls to win free lunches at the restaurants. So I've been playing with these, and I love these NFC tags. You can do so many things because they're actually programs for your phones where you can do scripting, right? So if you touch an NFC tag, you could have Alexa turn the TV on, or Google turn the TV on, or Siri turn the TV on. You could do all these things. John says, can you tell me what is involved in getting Grandstream certification and how beneficial it would be to me as an MSP owner? So as an MSP, probably the Grandstream certification, if you're doing the networking stuff, here's the thing. The Grandstream certifications at the professional level, so the associate level, they're free. And I'm getting ready to release my videos here in the next month on those, because anybody who's going to come to Peoria over the summer and take a professional level certification with me, you have to have that first level first, and it is free. The professional level is not free, and then there's the expert level, which is also not free. But if you if you are an MSP, like I said, the UC certification, which is the Unified Communications, unless you've made part of your MSP working on Grandstream phone systems, probably not going to be worth your time. But you will see, if you're on our mailing list, you are going to see, yes, by gum, by golly, come hell or high water, we are going to have training this year in Peoria, Illinois, on-site training. So that is coming. All right, so back over to the comments real quick. TVJ says, my boss used NFC to hand out Wi-Fi credentials before we tied the Wi-Fi to Active Directory. So yes, we also do 802.1x to do Wi-Fi authentication. But if you've got a guest Wi-Fi, this is absolutely a perfect way for people to, I'm reading the comments, sorry, but this is absolutely a good way to give away your public Wi-Fi credentials. And you can even design cool art around these, right? Ryan says, LOL, my just power cycled on my TV. So yeah. Alexa, order my supplies. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Alexa, cancel. People get really pissed on YouTube when you do that. Morning, David. So what else is coming? I've got the new MikroTik cloud router, the Ubiquiti switches. I am really doing my best to make sure that I'm getting that consistent content out and that it's good content. And it looks like it has been pretty well accepted on the channel. Here's the other thing. This is the Unify UXG Pro. This is obviously a USG replacement. It's 10 gig. It's got the little screen over here. Two 10 gig ports, two 1 gig ports. On the back, it's got that port where if the internet goes down, it will power cycle what's plugged in there. RPS connector over here. Video coming this week. So, I'm sure a lot of people will make like a big spectacle out of unboxing it and doing this and doing that and the other thing, but I'm just going to show you how to adopt it and how to use it and what the differences are. So we'll let everybody else do the awesome unboxing stuff. You know that I'm better in the weeds telling you, the advantages of how to actually configure. Everybody else does awesome unboxing videos. Yes, and I do love the shorts. Not everybody, though, JH, loves the shorts. Every time I post a short on YouTube, I lose subscribers. So, it is what it is. Morning, Tom. So what else is going on today? It's Saturday, right? So that means grocery shopping day. Getting plenty of B-roll footage just in case. Just catching up. So go ahead and ask your questions in the comments. We are pumping out the Grandstream systems. Have a meeting Monday night, 52 handset GXV 3350, and I'm training the admin on that. And the two training things that we're going to do is I'm going to show him how to add Q login, log out buttons. And if you've not messed with a GXV 3350, you're probably like, oh, that's easy, Willie. No, it's not quite as easy as you think it is because that's an Android-based phone. So you use the UI customization tool. And then when you put a sidecar onto it, it wants to do some weird sync things. So, yeah, there's, All right, let's see. Dennis says, I just upgraded my MikroTik router to version 7.1.5. Yeah, how do you like that, Dennis? Justin says, now they need to work on a UXG SE for some 2.5 gig. Yeah, why not, right? I am not a Foo Fighters fan, but I did see that their drummer unexpectedly passed away. Have you used the DC-powered fiber before? Not sure which product you're talking about. Oh, what else? So it was funny because I was on a call, the other day. I'm going to unplug the Flex. They've got something with the word Flex, right? So they got a Flex switch. They got a Flex switch XG Flex Mini. And, oh, come on, you mother. All right, need 2 hands for this. And here is the Flex phone. Son of a gun. So here is the, this is the handset that I used. I've got all 3 of their handsets, but this is the one that I used in my testing. And it made a liar out of me on a call the other day. I said, yeah, after my subscription ran out, I could only make emergency calls. And then I let it sit, and it came back, and the screen did the same thing. So we'll see if it does the same thing here. So this is actually tied to my my UDM Pro. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this handset thing here so that the handset doesn't fall off. Oh, that's that's interesting, right? So does anybody notice this slot right here? What? Yeah, watch this. All right, weird phone design tip of the day. So they actually notched it. They actually notched it out for the cord. Are we in the Twilight Zone? Yeah, and you can see there it is not. It's not doing the emergency thing, but it will. It will. Favorite feature actually of these phones. See that button right there? That's a mute button. So if you're on the phone and you got a cough, you just hold the button, cough, and then let go of the button. What I don't know is if this handset will work with other phones. Other phone manufacturers need to implement that. So the old handsets, that's interesting. So obviously they listened, and not to some of the old super users wearing rose-colored glasses where Ubiquiti can do nothing wrong, because if it was up to them, the damn hand cords, the cords would still be molded into the handset. And I just straight up told one of them, like, you've never deployed a handset in your life. That's the number one consumable on phones is this cord. Here's one of the old ones where it's molded in. So you can see it's molded into the phone, which makes this phone worthless once this gets too tangled. And no, the phone is not worth enough of my time to take it apart and replace it. But you can see mute button on that, and but this is a non-branded handset. They've branded the new handsets. Now, if they were smart, they would have patented. If they were smart, they would have patented this. They would have patented that mute button in the handset, because I haven't seen any other manufacturers do that. So kudos to them for that. For some reason, even though this is hooked to the UDM, it thinks it is Tuesday, May 8th, 6:08. Not sure what's up with that. We're doing a lot of playing with this. So it's, yeah. Joe, the clicking of the mute button was just for you. But yeah, they finally did listen about that. But I don't know how I feel about this notch. I literally just noticed this. I've had this hooked up for months, and I just noticed the notch. I also noticed that their handset cords are round, which will change as you swap them out. And I don't believe there's anything proprietary to the cable. These are the kinds of things that people who don't do telephony, they don't look at. So I'm sure there's all kinds of YouTube videos out there talking about Unified Talk, but they probably don't talk about this stuff on the phones the way we do, the way the physical handsets work, because they're not VoIP people. They don't really deploy systems at scale like we do. I've got another 115 phones sitting out in the other room with 8 UCMs getting ready to rock out. Yeah, there's nothing proprietary about the cable end itself. Oh boy, there we go. Yeah, just standard. So, I mean, it's got that going for it. So we'll have to see. But yeah, right now I would never deploy this outside of 2 people. The documentation is not where it needs to be. You can do a third-party SIP provider, but the instructions suck. There is a YouTube video on it, but really there should be written instructions for things like that. All right, back over to the comments. The flex part is the notch. That's hilarious, Joe. Yeah, so Justin says handset jack is on the bottom instead of the back. Weird. Yeah, I also thought that was a little weird. What I do like is the same desk stand, though. Unplug the power from this thing. The same desk. This is actually a pretty intelligent design on this phone. In that not only is the mount that comes with it, not only is it set up for the desk, but you can flip it around and then it becomes your wall mount. So I am mechanically challenged here this morning, but so this, I actually had it backwards. So this is what it would be like on your desk, like this. Now you have to remember what the target audience is of these devices. It is not voice over IP professionals. It is mom and pop shops who want to buy a UDM, buy some cameras, a switch, phones, and deploy it Wi-Fi and not have to hire IT people. That's what the target audience of this is. So this is what it would look like laying on the desk. The way I had it was the wall mount. All right, so somebody asked if the Flex Mini Switch will do bonding. So you know what? You ask, you'll receive. We're going to plug the switch back in, let it get adopted, and we'll take a look at that. Back over to the comments. Justin, I agree. I always have extra phone cords, spare phone cords, 100%. JH says Arista just launched cloud-based Wi-Fi. Well, who did Arista buy, JH? Where did they get their Wi-Fi property from? I'm not familiar. Let's see. Yeah, David, here's the thing, right? So David says it'd be easy to put an RJ11 plug on this phone. But so here, this is one of the original VoIP phones that came out, right? The problem with this is you can't, without a bunch of work that is just not worth it, you can't load a firmware on here. These do not work with the new system. Now, as is, if I want to use an outdated Android phone, I can join this to any SIP PBX. The old phones. The new phones only work with talk. So it is what it is. And no, it is not worth the time for me to put a plug on there. Dennis says, can the Grandstream GWN 7630 be used as a standalone AP? Absolutely it can, or it can be used on site to control 50 APs as the leader. You can also have a secondary failover leader. So, yeah. Soren says, old PSTN phones here in Denmark had a mute button on the side of the handset. It was even lockable on some models. That's cool. And there is Dennis, or James answering Dennis. All the other Grandstream APs can be used as standalone APs. Yes, all Grandstream APs can be standalone, or there is an exception, the 7602, which is the little flat, like in-wall type that has a switch. It cannot be standalone, and it cannot be a leader. That's the only exception to the rule right now. And I have not used the Ubiquiti analog, the ATA. I have not. I think it's called the Flex ATA for some reason. Yeah. Good morning, admin engineer. And we are the 7630, the GWN 7630, 7630 LR My favorite non-Wi-Fi 6 AP, but the 7664 and the 7660 are awesome, awesome APs. So real quick, I've got to open up my web browser. And of course, the Mozilla updater wants to run. Are you kidding me? I've got stuff to do here. Let me see. Unify. Portal. Go to Willie's UDM. You're also going to see, I want to thank Ubiquiti for sending me over a UDM SE. You're going to see that video here pretty soon. It is a pretty good device. Let me see here. I can't really, I'm trying to like talk and chew bubble gum at the same time here. All right, so here is our controller dismiss. And we're going to go to the Flex Mini, and we are going to go to settings. You know, I missed that you can't pop this out anymore. We're going to go to ports. We're going to go to port 2, and we're going to go to port 2. We're going to go to port profile override. We're going to go to aggregate. And so I had told you that I didn't know in the video if it could do a lag, and you can see right here. Joe, I'm zooming in because I know how difficult it is for you to see the screen. And so make sure your bell tone's turned up too. All right, so here it is. You've reached a maximum number of aggregation groups that can be supported by this device. Joe, I hope you can read that. So it cannot do the link aggregation. I got to zoom back out because I don't need my screen blown up that far. Sorry, Joe. So there is your answer. In certain terms, or in no uncertain terms, it cannot do it. It can't do lag. So, but yeah, if you've got any more questions, go ahead and post them. 63 viewers, 48 likes. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, smash that like button, let the algorithm know you're enjoying here this morning. And it looks like we had some messages retracted. Not sure what's going on. But, yeah, the Flex Mini cannot do a lag. You're also going to see Unify talk. But I have a whole Grandstream UCM 6300 series of videos that I'm planning to come out from nuts to bolts. We're going to release them in small chunks so people can learn how to do that setup. So there's just not a lot of good information out there, so it's time for us to do that again. All right, so I want to thank you all for being here. I'm not sure if my screen. Oh, wait a minute. We're not leaving. My screen just caught up. Don't leave. I'm going over to the comments. Holy cow! I don't know what happened. Huge glitch on my side, which was weird. 60 dB. Welcome. Waiting to see who's going to have a decent 6E AP. Synology. John Irish says, love my SE, nothing like 2.5 gigabit on my WAN interface. So I am not allowed to talk about this device. I'm not really allowed to do much with it at the moment because there's an embargo, but I am telling you, there's a 2.5 gig WAN port right there. Synology. Excuse me. There's still an embargo on that device. Let's see here. Back over to the comments. JH says same, but most of my clients won't use the speed. Yeah. Cajoling, I can read it. Perfect. And Oliver says you can just use a 2.5 gig adapter on the non-SE. Yes, correct. Joe says we should use the notches as a water trickle. Okay, that's cool. I can get down with that. Gibby says just placed an order of 6 7664. Looking forward to see what they can do. Yeah, so they are the bigger ones. However, The first giveaway from the box of stuff that Dale sent us is going to be the 7660, the GWN 7660, the Wi-Fi 6 AP. I will be announcing that today or tomorrow. So if you're not following me on all the socials, make sure you're following me here on Twitter and TikTok. I've kind of given up on Instagram. Actually, I switched phones and I'm locked out. And so I got to recover it. And I still have to get a new SIM card for this to get my Wi-Fi. My texting doesn't work either. So I got to go get the new SIM card. That's on my list for today. It's been on my list for weeks. But I need new glasses and yeah, anyway. So that's coming. Yes, Bob, while it is no secret, as a partner and a content creator, I am under embargo. So for me to do that is technically breaking the rules, which is why they asked me to take my TikTok down when I had put it up there, because I was so excited to get that device. So when for the GS 6300 videos? Soon. I'm going to get this Ubiquiti, a couple of these Ubiquiti videos out, and then I'm going to do my Wi-Fi torture test video, and then the Grandstream 6300 series videos. So, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about the UCM, what it is. There's no real good information on that either, right? And that needs to come first, right? So we're going to spend 15, 20 minutes talking about what is a UCM. Why would you use a UCM? I mean, people see us talk about it all the time, and we save people literally. There is not a hosted PBX provider. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. There is not a hosted PBX provider that can beat the pricing that we set customers up with Telnex. They just cannot do it. And our ROI is better. They own the hardware. They own the numbers. It doesn't get any better. You pick a provider, and I'll do a comparison video. I promise you that. I promise that. All right, so it's cool. I got to get out of here. I gotta, obviously I'm not going to shave. I trimmed up yesterday, but I do have to shower, do all those fun things. I want to thank you all so much for being here this morning. If you need IT consulting, you know somebody that needs IT consulting, you just want to talk, you're bored, you want to send us an email, go to williehowe.com, click hire us, contact us. Someone will reach out as soon as possible. All of our affiliate links down below, clearly marked. I want to thank you for spending your Saturday morning with us. And as always, I'm Willie, and I will see you in the next video.